Trump doesn't appear too concerned about Cruz's defiance. He posted on Twitter a short time ago, quote, "Other than a small group of people who have suffered massive and embarrassing losses, the party is very united. Great love in the arena." And I'm joined now to talk about this by Trump campaign national spokeswoman Katrina Pierson. Katrina, thanks for joining me.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So, has there been any second guessing since that fracas last night about allowing Ted Cruz to speak in prime time?
No, not at all. You know, people continuously expect Donald Trump to be some tightly controlled politician, and this really wasn't about that. This was about giving the senator an opportunity to take the stage, because Mr. Trump has made a promise to do whatever he could to unite the party. He gave the senator prime time, knew that he wasn't going to endorse him, and allowed him to address the delegates that supported him, and we've seen today how that worked out.
But didn't it end up drowning out what should have been the centerpiece of last night, which was Mike Pence, and what was, by all accounts, a very well-received address? I mean, you and I are talking today about Ted Cruz. We're not talking about Mike Pence.
Which is, I think, is best, simply because now I do believe that the party is definitely united behind Mr. Trump, because what I've experienced and what he's experienced throughout the day are all of those other voters. We're talking about, 23 million voters now who have seen Senator Cruz being unable to even follow his pledge for personal reasons. And so there are a lot of people, and we've seen it, and today when Senator addressed the Texas delegation, that even the Texas delegation is extremely upset with the way that he handled this, because we know it's extremely important to come together going into November.
You've known Senator Cruz for a long time. As his friend, if you weren't working for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump had insulted his wife, had suggested that his father might have had something to do with the assassination of JFK, what would you advise Cruz to do out there? I mean, would you understand if he said, I don't think that that's a guy I feel like endorsing right now?
Well, and I understand that this is a political race, was a political race, but at the same time, I do
typically things like that, but are sort of outside the bounds of politics,
well,
right?
Actually, not. If you go back into history, you will find that these types of things have happened, and actually far worse when you look at Thomas Jefferson and John Adams. But I'll say this: the media did not cover a single attack that came out from the Cruz surrogates. She was attacked weekly, monthly even, to the point to where she was called a whore. She was criticized on television. They ran an ad in a state with Melania's naked photo. But the media really didn't focus on those attacks. What Mr. Trump did was, in response to all those horrible attacks against Mrs. Trump, is he said, "I love my wife, she's beautiful," because she'd been attacked for that whole time. And that has been pulled out completely out of context. We can't act like that the senator and his supporters are innocent in this whole thing. This was a primary race. It was extremely contentious. But at the end of the day, he pledged to support the nominee. Mr. Trump won 38 states, broke the record in GOP primary turnout. And this is someone, because I do know him, who pledges to support the people. He wants the people to decide. He's a constitutionalist. He wants to respect the process. And guess what? He reneged on everything he stood for last night.
Let's say Bernie Sanders were to come out at the Democratic convention and refuse to endorse Hillary Clinton and tell Democratic voters, vote your conscience. Wouldn't you be sitting here saying, look at the Democratic Party, it's in a shambles. They can't unite around their nominee. Something is wrong.
No, I would say that this is exactly why we have Bernie Sanders, because Democrats feel disenfranchised as well. We are in a situation today, which is why everything is completely off the rails, because both establishment parties have abandoned the people. This is why we're seeing what we're seeing today, and that's exactly why Donald Trump has been leading with independents by double digits for months. That's why tens of thousands of disenfranchised Democrats are supporting Donald Trump, because he is outside that political realm. And you're going to see next week at the DNC, all of the establishment rolled out, all of the special interests rolled out, which is exactly why Bernie Sanders exists.
Tell me what you can about your boss's speech tonight. What are we going to hear?
You're going to hear Donald Trump. There's really no way to describe it. We're going to see what we've been seeing this whole time. You're going to hear him talk about a lot of his policies, his gratefulness. Ivanka is going to introduce him, so you're going to hear more about the kind of father that he has been. which is extremely important. There are a lot of people who don't know Mr. Trump, the man, and there's no one better to describe that outside of Melania and Ivanka, because they can tell very intimate stories about who he is. And a lot of people don't know a lot of the things he's done in the past, because he's not vocal about his generosity. Whether he writes a check for someone that he sees in a newspaper that rescued someone out of a car, or using his plane to fly a little boy to get medical treatment, he doesn't talk about those things. I wish he would, but he doesn't talk about those things, and we need to show that side of him.
Got it. All right. Donald Trump's spokeswoman, Katrina Pierson, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being with me
Great to
today.
be here.
I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.